Yes. Yes, you are.
Good, how you doing?
And then we're also pulling the dog. Welcome, everyone, to our business meeting. It is the weekly meeting of the County Commissioners, and it's February 7th, 2023. The time is 2:01 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Brooks, Matari, and Duncan. If you would please join us for a moment of silence. All right, thank you. And I think I will have Lieutenant Sifford lead us in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we are to the changes to the agenda. We have 2 items being pulled, 4 items being switched, and 1 item being added. So we're in for a long meeting today, and you guys are welcome to leave once we hit your subject matter. So item 1 is it's actually a request for service. The Sheriff's Department is going to be providing some additional support this Saturday, so we could not wait another week to get this approved. So I will let Lieutenant Sifford explain a little bit more.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Zachary Sifford, Director.
You need to turn your
Push
mic.
your button.
Thank you.
Sorry. This is just a pretty simple contract with the Kootenai County Central Republican Central Committee to have a uniformed deputy present for an event on Saturday at the Coeur d'Alene Resort. So this just covers their time there. It's about a 6-hour block.
Okay. Is there any questions?
Just one?
Yes.
That's all I've got.
Okay. So I would take a motion to add this to the agenda as an emergency item due to the time-sensitive nature.
I move that we add the Kootenai County Republican Lincoln Day event for the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee's Sheriff's Office security contract.
I'll
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right. So I think we will handle you at the first business thing. So let us get through the next couple items, and then we'll address that and vote on it.
Okay.
So that was just to add it. All right. I would take a motion to approve meeting minutes, and that's items 2 through 10.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes, items 2 through 10.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. All right, motion passes. And the consent calendar, which is 11 through 22.
I move that we approve the consent calendar from items 11 through 22.
26. Not 26.
22.
22. I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. And the payables, please.
I move that we approve the payables from February 2nd, 2023, or I'm sorry, from January 30th to February 3rd, 2023, in the amount of $1,942,739.75, and jury panel payments in the amount of $3,447.54.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan,
Aye. Okay, so now we can address the Lincoln Day event on February 11th. It's 1 deputy for 6 hours. And are there any further questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, I would take a motion.
I move that we approve the contract with the Kootenai County Republican Central Committee and the Sheriff's Office for the Lincoln Day event this Saturday.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. And we will now handle item 25 and then 24 after that, then 45 and 46 to accommodate our treasurer's office. And our Chief Deputy Jill Smith is here. So item 25 is board approval request, claims for surplus funds from tax deed auction.
So Jill Smith for the record with Amy Sweet and Kelly Wiest.
Hi, Kelly.
Who is going to be taking over tax deeds from Amy.
Okay,
So we previously submitted the surplus funds that were from our tax deed auction on September 30th. We received the following
Can you
claims.
speak up a little bit, please?
Never. So the claims I presented you all were received timely, and we are requesting those to be paid out. Of the 4 parcels that sold, 1 we did not receive claims back, which that's a separate agenda item, I think. So I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
that's okay. All right, are there any questions?
No questions.
Okay, I would take a motion, please.
I move that we approve the claims for surplus funds from the tax deed auction.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 24, board approval request, and this is a request for residual surplus funds to the state of Idaho for unclaimed property, and Ms. Sweet again.
So the one that did have surplus funds, but we did not receive a claim. So we are submitting those to the state and are requesting your approval for that.
Okay, any questions? All right,
No questions.
motion?
I move that we approve the request for residual surplus funds to the state of Idaho for unclaimed property.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, now we can skip over to item 45, and this is board approval request, tax deed bid AIN 337622, subject of Harvey, and it's, I don't know, did the treasurer's office have comment on that, or you just want us to?
We are just here in case you have questions after you open the bids.
Okay. So we received this bid on, looks like October 7th, 2022. We had some information to give, so I will open it and find out how much they are going to offer the sliver property for. And they are a contiguous property owner to this property. Okay, so there's an offer to purchase 337622 is the AIN, and they have offered $1,750. And I want to say that the taxes and everything due, I have it right here.
It was 172518.
Okay.
So they make us whole.
They make us whole. Okay, so are there any questions? This is a small piece that's contiguous to their property, and their offer has covered what is due to the county. So are you comfortable with selling this piece of property to these people?
Yes.
Okay, Bill?
Pardon?
Are you? do you have
Yeah, I'm
questions?
fine with it. It's just very simple.
Okay, sounds good. Then I would take a motion.
I move that we approve the $1,750 offer on AIN 337622 from a tax deed bid.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. We're at item 45 now, and this is another tax deed bid, and for AIN 135251, Ingolstadt is the bidder, And I believe that they are also a contiguous property owner with this sliver of property.
You said 45. Is it?
Sorry, 46,
Okay.
sorry. All right. And this is for AIN 135251, and they have offered $200. So I will
So
look
our
up.
hard costs, which would be the fees that the commission, that the county will have to pay, regardless, if, we can't waive the fees, they have to be paid. And then the hard costs of foreclosure totaled $858.46.
Okay. So we have a couple choices. We can accept the bid, and then the county eats the hard costs. Hard costs meaning money that was actually spent during the tax deed process to offer this for sale. Or we can let Mr. Engelstead know that what the actual taxes are, and if he wanted to submit another sealed bid, we could consider that. It gets the property back on the tax rolls, and so I'm open to suggestions.
And I guess my hard costs aside, the county, if we don't collect enough to cover Micah Fire, the county is going to have to pay Micah Fire $90.46,
Yep.
maybe
So-
at least $100.
Yeah. Thoughts?
It's a small sliver of property, but I hate to see us not at least recover our costs.
Sure. Thoughts, Bill?
Bill.
Okay. All right, then, do we have to make a motion to not accept the bid?
No, you can just reject it and move forward with the counter offers. It sounds like there's
Okay. Then that is what we will do. Okay, now back to the top of our agenda. And item 26, board approval request for sponsor certification taxiway north rehab airport action. And Kim, are you handling this?
I am. Commissioners, thank you. This is a board, Kim Stevenson for the record, sorry. This is the sponsor certification for the Taxiway North rehab. Basically, you're just agreeing to all the rules and requirements put forth by the FAA related to the project. Once awarded, these go hand in hand kind of with the grant application, and the grant application was signed by the board on January 30th, 2023.
Okay, questions?
I do have a question. I know there's an issue with some grant assurances at the airport, and I just want to make sure that we're not, that we understand, I guess my question is, do you know what would happen if we continue with these grants, given the grant assurance issue with another lease?
I know that the grant assurances, the sponsor certifications are specific to each project. I don't know what would happen with the other projects and the other sponsor certifications that have already been signed. Unfortunately, that's about all I know on that.
Yeah. It's just my concern that we incur some sort of a liability until we know for sure.
These are preliminary steps to go with the application. The application has not been approved at this point. There's a possibility that they would not send the funding our way for this project, and in which case then we would not be bound by any of those assurances
Okay.
associated with the Taxiway November project.
Okay. Are you comfortable signing, or did you want to put it off?
If we're still not at that point yet where we have that final decision, whether it's accepting the money or some additional documentation, then I'm fine proceeding
Okay,
up to that point.
That's
Alright.
where we are, yep.
all right.
Okay.
Bill?
Yep.
Okay, I move that we approve the sponsor certification for taxiway and rehabilitation at the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Item 27, board approval request, sponsor certification for construct the SRE, which is our snow removal equipment building at the airport. Kim?
Yes, Kim Stevenson again for the record. This is the sponsor certifications for Phase 4 of the snow removal equipment building. Phases 1 through 3 have all been approved and awarded, and so this, I believe, is the final phase to finish off the building. And this is, these are bipartisan infrastructure law funds, which we get additional ones this year. Additional, more than we've received in the past years. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Questions?
My only question is basically the same as the previous grant. How does that affect us with respect to grant assurances on other properties that may or may not be in question?
Again, Commissioner Matari, as far as I know, each project has its own sponsor certifications, and certifications that you'd be signing are related to the SRE building Phase 4 project.
And then the application is under number 29.
29.
So,
Okay. Right.
right, motion?
I move that we approve sponsor certification for the construction of SRE building at the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 28, board approval request, sponsor certification. This is runway 624 rehab and taxiway B4. Kim?
Okay, thank you. This is the sponsor certifications for the rehabilitation of runway 624. That includes mill and inlay, my apologies, constructing taxiway Bravo 4 with lighting and signs, rehabilitating runway high-intensity lights and runway end identifier lights, including cables, fixtures, and transformers.
Okay, questions?
And the application, again, is under item 30.
Okay. My question is just to make sure that we're not engaging in grant requests that could end up being a problem given this other issue that has not been resolved yet.
I agree.
So,
But once again, I think the application does not actually
Yeah.
engage us in the acceptance of the funds.
so I move that we approve the sponsor certificate for runway 624 rehab and taxiway B4 Bravo 4 at the airport.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 29, this is a grant application, AIP 3-16-0010-05X-2023, and this is towards the construction of the snow removal equipment building with the FAA, $465,943, cash match of $23,297. Kim?
Yes, this is the grant application for the construction Phase 4 of the snow removal building. The total project is $465,943. The FAA portion is 90%, which is $419,349, and a match from the state and the county, each consisting of $23,297.
And Kim, once again, this is for Phase 4, because I know that we've already received funds for the snow removal equipment building. Is that correct?
Correct. Again, phases 1 through 3 have been awarded, and This is just for the final phase to get the building up.
All right, questions?
No questions.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve grant application AIP 3-16-0010-05X-2023, construct snow removal equipment, SRE building with a federal aviation payment of $465,943 and a cash match of $23,297.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 30, grant application AIP 3-16-0010-05X-2023, rehabilitate runway 624 and construct taxiway B4, FAA, and their portion is $5,469,000, and the cash match $273,450. And then, Kim, is this, they have the exact same number for the AIP. Is that a typo, or are they both together?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the numbers are the same. The X will get filled in when and if it is awarded to us.
Great.
Okay? So at the application phase, they do not have the exact numbering set up. In fact, we're so close to the 60s, it might actually go into a 60 or a 6 instead of a 5. But yeah, that's just the way they number them at the application phase.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Mm-hmm.
No questions.
Nope, this is all about application.
Yep. Oh, sure, Jelena.
Hey, Kim, it's Jelena. That match portion of the 273,450, is that 5% or 10%?
That is 5%.
So just so the board is
5%.
aware, if the state doesn't come in and with the match, then we're on the hook for over 500,000, just so you're aware.
Right, and then we will know, though, if the award happens, if the state has chimed in by then.
Correct. I just wanted that to be clear.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kim.
Thank you. Okay, motion?
I move that we approve grant application AIP 3-16-0010-05X-2023 to rehabilitate the runway 624 and construct taxiway B4 with the Federal Aviation Administration grant of $5,469,000 with a cash match from the county of $273,450.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion carries. Item 31, MOA for use of office space. This is with the Idaho Department of Corrections and our specialty court. And Carlene Behringer is on the phone. Go ahead, Carlene.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Carlene Behringer, Kootenai County District Court for the record. This is a MOU between the Idaho Department of Corrections and the Board of County Commissioners for office space for our treatment court coordinators, which consists of our drug court coordinator, our mental health coordinator, and our DUI court coordinator. This is a 5-year MOU and this is a renewal of the original MOU that we had with the Department of Corrections.
All right, and then just to clarify, the cleaning portion in there, although it's not spelled out monetarily right now, it's $172 a month.
It's $172 a month, and that covers a biweekly cleaning and then a quarterly cleaning of the windows.
All right, and then just one other thing to get on the record, that we do have a 90-day notice to get out. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct. It could either be by agreement by the parties, or one party can have the 90-day
Perfect.
Ability to leave the agreement.
All right, questions?
Yeah, I'm confused. It's not a major thing, but is this an MOA or
Okay.
MOU?
A memorandum of agreement, so they're agreeing to provide office space
Okay,
for our
works.
people.
I just wanted to make sure I understood. Thank you.
Mhm.
No questions.
Thank you. And motion?
Okay, I move that we approve MOA for use of office space with the Idaho Department of Corrections and Specialty Courts.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Carleen. All right, item 32.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Asset Disposition Services Agreement, propertyroom.com with our Resource Management Office. And Chad, are you on the line?
I am. Thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel with RMO for the record. So we are seeking approval for an asset disposition service agreement with propertyroom.com. This is an agreement the county previously had in place but has recently expired. This allows all county departments the ability to auction surplus items like our buses that have reached their useful life. Legal has reviewed and approved the contract.
All right, questions?
No questions.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the asset disposition services agreement with propertyroom.com.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Item 33, grant agreement, CLG 2022-04, CLG Memorandum of Agreement with the Idaho State Historical Society in the amount of $15,000. The in-kind match with Historic Preservation Commission voluntary contributions is $15,000, and our Resource Management Office. Jody, are you handling this?
I'm actually going to be handling it again. This is Chad.
Okay.
Thank you, Chad Engel, for the record. So the Memorandum of Agreement between Kootenai County and Idaho State Historical Preservation Office, the SHPO, is for the development of a countywide historic preservation plan. The federal award is $15,000 with a required match of $15,000. Kootenai County Historic Preservation Commission's time contribution on the project will meet the required in-kind match.
All right, questions?
No questions.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve grant agreement CLG 2022-04/CLG Memorandum of Agreement with the Idaho State Historical Society in the amount of $15,000.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Item 34, grant application, federal fiscal year 2024, 5339, grant application, Idaho Transportation Department, in the amount of $95,000, in-kind match, Kootenai County and partner agencies, $23,750. Chad, are you taking this?
I am, yes. Thank you, Commissioners. Chad Engel for the record again. We are seeking approval to submit a 5339 grant application to ITD, the Idaho Transportation Department. The grant is for maintenance and rehabilitation of our current paratransit fleet, and we are seeking $95,000 with in-kind match of $23,750.
All right, questions?
No questions.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve the grant application FFY 2024-5339 with the Idaho Department of Transportation for $95,000 with a in-kind match of $23,750.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 35, Kootenai County CLFRF subaward agreement with CD Aid, Inc., and our Resource Management Office. And I think, Caitlin Smith, are you on the line?
Yes, Caitlin Smith for the record.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the formal subaward agreement between Kootenai County and CD8 for the subaward of $50,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds from the county to CD8. CD8 is a local nonprofit providing mentoring, community aid, and financial assistance to Coeur d'Alene area hospitality workers in urgent need. These funds would be provided as reimbursement of direct expenses incurred for CD8's CARE program, specifically for emergency rent assistance provided by CD8 to their beneficiaries.
All right, questions?
No questions.
I move that we approve Kootenai County CLFRF Sub-Award Agreement, CD Aid, Inc., and the Resource Management Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Item 36, board approval request. This is Fleet Management Committee approval of the updated fleet management policy, and our resident fleet management expert, director of our AMP, Keith Hutchison.
Yes, it'd be the most riveting thing you have today. Keith Hudson for the record. What you have in front of you is a policy that was brought in front of elected officials and also put together by the Fleet Management Committee, which was represented by 4 departments from the BOCC and 4 elected officials. Were on the board themselves, but they had representatives there. So it's policy 429. So we want the contents of this new policy added. We would also like the form of the vehicle availability form also added into it. That is in section 4. This would rewrite section 4 for that. And looking for approval.
Okay, questions?
No questions.
All right. Motion?
I move that we approve the updated fleet management policy.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Item 37, MOU renewal for Coeur d'Alene Library Emergency Facility Use and Kootenai County and the City of Coeur d'Alene with our Office of Emergency Management. Sarah Lafredo, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon. Sarah Lafredo for the record. Today I'm here to renew the MOU between Kootenai County and the City of Coeur d'Alene for the emergency use of the Coeur d'Alene Library. It's to serve as the Joint Information Center. The only changes made were to the contact information, and so I'm asking for your approval to renew the MOU.
Okay, questions? Motion.
I move that we approve the renewal for the CDA Library emergency facility use with the Kootenai County and the City of Coeur d'Alene and the OEM.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Sarah. Item 38, grant agreement, and this is number EMW-2022-SS-00109. And this is for the Hauser Lake Fire Protection District, 6 Motorola portable radios with the Office of Emergency Management for the amount of, hold on here. Andrea, I think you're going to have to lead me through this. It says $48,848, but is that really for 6 radios? Oh, I guess it is, at $8,000 each. Go ahead, Andrea.
This is Andrea Littlefield for the record, and yes, that is the correct amount. It is for 6 radios, and it's just our grant use agreement for Hauser Lake for our SHSP funds.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
No questions.
All right, motion.
I move that we approve the grant agreement EMW-2022-SS-00109 for the Hauser Lake Fire Protection District for the 6 Motorola APX 8000 portable radios for $48,848.70 with no match requirement.
I second the motion, and those better be good radios.
No kidding. I'm in the wrong business.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. All right, and I think we've got 2 more with you, Andrea. Item 39, yes. Grant agreement, and this is EMW 2022-SS-00109, and this is for the Post Falls Police Department Internal Security System with the Idaho Office of Emergency Management in the amount of $55,642. Go ahead.
This is Andrea Littlefield for the record, and yes, this is for the Post Falls Police Department for their internal security system, and it is a grant use agreement for our 2022 SHSP funds.
questions?
No questions.
All right, motion?
I move that we approve grant agreement number EMW 2022-SS00109 for the Post Falls Police Department internal security system in the Idaho Office of Emergency Management for $55,642.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion carries. All right, item 40, grant agreement, EMW 2022-SS-00109. This is for the Hayden Lake Police Department for soft ballistic shields and our Office of Idaho Emergency Management in the amount of $7,000. Andrea.
This is Andrea Littlefield for the record, and this is a grant use agreement for Hayden Lake Police Department for the soft ballistic shields. This is also our 2022 SHSP funds.
Okay, questions, motion?
No questions. I move that we approve the grant agreement, EMW-2022-SS-00109 for the Hayden Lake Police Department soft ballistic shields and the Idaho Office of Emergency Management grant of $7,000 with no match requirement.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you, Andrea. And we are pulling items 41 and 42. They will each come back at separate meetings. And then we are up to item 43, approval of data extract and confidentiality agreement with Edison Health Solutions LLC, Wellnessity LLC, Regents Blue Shield, our Human Resources Department, and C.K. Kirkpatrick, please.
Hello, C.K. Kirkpatrick for the record. We are bringing before you an agreement between Edison, Wellnessity, Regents, and Kootenai County for data extract and confidentiality agreements.
Okay, questions?
No questions.
All right, motion?
I move that we, for the approval of data extract and confidentiality agreement with Edison Health Solutions LLC, Wellness City LLC, Regents Blue Shield, and Human Resource.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. All right, we've already handled items 44 and, nope, actually, we're doing 44. We've handled
Right.
45 and 46. All right, board approval request. This is Great Floors bid to replace carpet in courtroom 12 at the sheriff's office with building and grounds. And Greg, did you make it on the phone? He wasn't sure. He had an appointment this afternoon. So what this is, we've got a bunch of 5-year plan replacements, and this particular one is going to be paid for through district court funds, and we have an opportunity to save almost half if we're able to buy the carpet and do the replacement internally. If we are not, then the quote is $15,404.15. Questions?
So what is it if it would be half that?
It'd be $7,404. I think we save $8,000 in labor if we're able to do it ourselves. And I think they're going to try, but it just depends. If it's during a huge snowstorm, we won't have people to help.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay.
And it's part of the normal replacement process?
Yes. Yep. And luckily, we get district court funds to do that. So those are restricted funds that can only be used for our court facilities.
Okay.
Bill, good?
Oh, no problem.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve the replacement of the carpet in courtroom 12 at the sheriff's office by Building and Grounds.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. All right, down to item 47. This is an advisory board appointment of Brian Cleary for the Airport Advisory Board, term ending December 31st, 25. Bruce?
Just very quickly for the public, one of the reasons for reevaluating this board and others eventually is the fact that we have a new BOCC. And so it just seemed to make sense to just kind of reevaluate our boards and just make sure we have the best boards that can serve the community. And so this is just part of a normal process that way. So.
Okay. Bill, questions?
No.
All right. Then I would take a motion.
I move that we approve the appointment of Brian Cleary to the Airport Advisory Board with a term ending 12/31/25.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
No.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 48, Advisory Board appointment, Christopher Nordstrom to the Airport Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/23. So, Bruce, did you have anything to say on this one? Essentially, it's just going to follow.
Essentially, it's the same thing that I said prior to Brian Cleary's.
Okay. Bill, questions?
No.
All right, and motion.
I move that we appoint Christopher Nordstrom to the Airport Advisory Board for a term ending on 12/31/23.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion carries. Advisory Board appointment, Stephen Anderson for the Airport Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/24. Okay. Questions?
No questions.
All right, motion.
I move that we approve the appointment of Steve Anderson to the Airport Advisory Board with a term ending 12/31/24.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion passes. Item 50, Advisory Board appointment of Michael Hinkowski for the Airport Advisory Board, term ending 12/31, and there's a mistake on the agenda, it's actually 2024. So, questions?
No questions.
Motion?
I move that we appoint Michael Hinkowski to the Airport Advisory Board with a term ending on 12/31/2024.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, motion carries. Item 51, Board approval request, and this is our City of Hayden representative. We were able to interview the, well, here, let me just, yeah, this is a term ending 12/31/25. Able to interview the council people, and I appreciate all the council members who came in for an interview. My position has been from the beginning that I would like Brett Boyer to stay on, and so that's my thought at this point.
I feel the same way. I very much appreciate the opportunity to meet the different folks at the City of Hayden. And I believe at this point, the best course of action is to keep Brett Boyer on the Airport Advisory Board.
Questions? Okay,
I move that we approve the board request for candidates for City of Hayden representatives on the Airport Advisory Board, term ending 12/31/25. Rotor Dupree.
actually, we just need Brett Boyer.
Pardon?
We're just approving Brett Boyer.
Oh, Brent.
Yeah, he's not on here. I know.
I don't understand what you're doing.
So
You're on item 51,
we're
correct?
on item 51. Brett Boyer's name was accidentally left off of the, off the agenda, so sorry
He's
about
not the
that.
only one we're approving.
He's the only one we're approving for that one single seat. What
Okay.
happened is we didn't have all of our interviews done by the time we
Okay.
did the agenda.
You go ahead and make the motion.
I move that we approve of the appointment for the City of Hayden to the Airport Advisory Board of Brett Boyer.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye, and that term is ending 12/31/25. So our two members who've been on there long, Tim Combrick and Brett Boyer, are continuing. I have had a request to have some overlap potentially, so maybe temporarily expanding the board for 2 months to keep the people who were on, who are vacating their terms early. So we don't have to make a decision today, but if you wanted to think about that going forward, that's something we can address.
That we keep, that we expand the board.
Just have an overlap, yeah, for a couple months, for continuity's sake. So something to consider. The other thing is too that, did you want to suggest an advisory board meeting date?
I think it would be prudent for them to meet next Wednesday to at least establish their chair and other positions within the board.
Okay, so staff will be reaching out to all the members on the board, the newly appointed and the ones that potentially are considered for an overlap. And we'll probably have to make that decision sooner than later. Okay? All right, moving on to item 52, Resolution 2023-14, and this is actually a previous resolution under 22-108, but that was a duplicate number. So we thought it best to just bring back the surplus equipment asset deletion for Veteran Service Office, and it's just a cleanup item. It was for a copier, but the new number is 2023-14. Any questions? Okay.
No questions.
Motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2023-14 for the corrected resolution that was 2022-108 for the surplus equipment asset deletion and Veteran Service Office.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. All right, item 53, board approval request, and this is approving the ballot order per Idaho Code 34-902 for our March 14th, best day ever, right, Jonathan? 2023 consolidated elections and ASA.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Commissioners, excuse me. What you have before you today is a ballot order for the March 14th, 2023 consolidated election. We do have 4 different school districts running questions on the ballot. Coeur d'Alene School District, Lakeland Joint School District, Post Falls School District, and Kootenai Joint School District will all be holding elections for different ballot questions. So we will have all 73 of our polling places operational for this election. In your packet is the ballot order. What we do typically in setting these numbers is we look at past turnout. We look for these type of elections. We look at more recent elections as well as we continue to grow as a county in our registered voter totals, and based on that in our number of voters voting, we try to anticipate where we're going to need to target, percentage-wise for turnout, and then we always boost some of the outerlying areas just because should we, which we typically don't run low on ballots anywhere, but should we do so, it's hard to run ballots from our office here in Coeur d'Alene out to Worley or Spirit Lake. So that is where these numbers typically come from, and I would ask for your approval.
All right, and then if we were to run out local, or you just print them out the office and then run them out?
Correct. We print ballot on demand on watermarked ballot paper so that it is not copyable, and then we take those members of our staff, 2 people always with a ballot, would take them out to the specific locations that needed them.
Thank you very much. Questions?
Just want to state the absentee numbers too. So far, we have a request of 2,684 absentee requests.
For the March election.
And those will be mailed on Friday, right? Our first absentee?
Yeah, first absentee mail out is this weekend, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, motion?
I move that we approve the request to approve the ballot order per Idaho Code 34-902 for March 14th, 2023.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. And now we're at item 54, Resolution 2023-15, and this is designate polling places per Idaho Code 34302 for the March 14th, 2023 consolidated election. And Mr. Gray again.
Good afternoon again, Commissioners. The polling places resolution for this election, I want to highlight just a couple changes from the November polling locations, and then highlight one that we had changed in November that is staying the same at this time due to continued construction at the older location. So first off, I'll highlight precinct 506, which prior to last November had voted at St. George's Catholic Church in Post Falls. St. George's, we contacted them earlier this year and they let us know the start of their construction was delayed until sometime this spring. Supply shortages and everything else that we all know have been continuing to occur have delayed their construction. And so they will not be available for this year as a polling place. And so we have confirmed with Post Falls Middle School that they are willing to continue to let us utilize their facility as a polling place through 2023. So you'll see that precinct 506 is still located at that location. And then we have two polling places that we have that we are seeking to change and have your approval on today. Precincts 315 and 318 previously were at the Maple Street Community Church on Maple Street in Hayden. We are seeking to change those to the Hayden Bible Church on Miles Avenue in Hayden. The reason for that is Hayden Bible Church is a good-sized facility. Previously, we've had a little bit of a cramped space at Maple Street. And additionally, Maple Street Community Church has charged us $200 per election to have the two polling places there. Hayden Bible Church is willing to not charge us anything, and they've been extremely accommodating. And I'll also mention that the space they're giving us is a newly remodeled, nice, large lobby space. So it would be very positive, I think, for voters to be able to participate there. The other change on our list is precincts 511 and 519. We're previously at the Post Falls Senior Center. The Senior Center has let us know that they will be undergoing construction, and it sounded more of an indefinite, will not be able to be a polling place than a temporary. So we looked for an alternate location in that area of Post Falls. And Community Presbyterian Church was gracious enough to, upon speaking with Jennifer and a member of our election staff, Christy, at one of their board meetings, was willing to let us utilize their space this year for a polling location. So we are seeking your approval to put those locations at Community Presbyterian Church. Everything else on your list is the same as it was for the November general.
Great, thank you. Questions?
No questions.
All right, motion.
I move that we approve Resolution 2023-15, designate polling places per IC 34-302 for the March 14th, 2023 consolidated election.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you, guys. Item 55, Resolution 2023-18, and this is approval of revised policy 213. It's an alternative work schedule policy. And Dorothy, did you want to run us through the changes, or do you want me to?
Yeah, there's just on this one, Dorothy Cross for the record. On this one, there is only one change, and that is to update to what we've actually been doing, which is sworn officers work 80 hours in a pay period, not what the old policy said of 86. So it's just a correction of that.
Okay, any questions?
No questions.
All right, motion.
I move that we approve Resolution 2023-18, approval of revised is that the right one?
Yeah, revised policy.
Number 213, alternative work schedules as submitted by Human Resources.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion carries. And now we've got 2023-19, which is the approval of revised holiday policy 3112. Ms. Cross again.
Dorothy Cross again, for the record. This is just to add the language that with board approval, departments can determine if they're going to take the Juneteenth holiday or the day after Thanksgiving, depending on operational needs.
All right, and I'm looking through my stuff here, and it looks like both 18 and 19 are the same thing in my packet, and that means, hang on here. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. All right, thank you. So that would be the holiday exchange.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, questions?
No questions. I move that we approve Resolution 2023-19, the approval of the revised holiday policy number 312, enacted by Human Resources.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, motion carries. Thank you very much. And now we're to our discussion section of the meeting, our status update pending list and facilities expansion. We had a meeting on the 25th of January, and now Boughton, our construction manager, general contractor, will be meeting with our architect, Lombard Conrad Architects, to try to get our expansion to the Justice Center, maybe save us some costs with some building revisions and building material revisions. So, any questions on that?
No questions.
Okay. And impact fees.
Still waiting.
Okay. All right. And that is it. I will call for public comment. We'll keep it to 3 minutes each, and addressing the board and not members of the public. So, public comment? Jonathan? Okay. Just state your name for the record and just push that button.
My name is Samantha Mott. I'm a recent graduate of Auburn University School of Aviation. I majored in aviation management with a minor in business administration. So as you may know, the airport is under FAA investigation for grant assurance violations, specifically grant assurance 29 with the Ski Club lease. A better example is the large transector building, which is on the airport and has no aviation interest whatsoever. The FAA can impose large fines on the county and pull existing grants for this. So why are applications by the airport director for more grants being approved?
Okay. So I think, do you want to address that? This is mostly public comment. We don't necessarily need to go back and forth, but I will give my co-commissioners the opportunity if they want to address that.
I think it's important that we look at that, for sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm Kirk Lauer. I'm the owner of Coeur d'Alene Aviation Maintenance. I had a question about the board positions. How many positions are there available on that board?
Right now, it's 7.
Okay. And so now with the appointment, are all of those positions, have they all been filled? I counted 5 that were appointed today.
5 were appointed, 1 remained,
And we may have one opening.
and we may have 1 opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
My questioning on that is, the Airport Association is represented. Mr. Anderson represents them, as well as I think he has a lot of good insight to what's happening at the airport. It's obviously a lot of different things going on and difference of opinions. I represent a group of business owners at the airport. The Airport Association is comprised of a lot of people who have one airplane. They own or lease a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square foot hangar. They have a 10 to 12 to 15,000 square foot lot that they lease. The group that I represent, we lease 50, 100, 200,000 square feet of land or more from the airport, which is a huge amount of revenue for the airport. It's not only businesses on the airport, but it's businesses that use the airport to further their business by moving employees and things in and out. So I just would like to I think that someone needs to be appointed to the board that represents the very large stakeholders as well as the small, and to bring a lot of the concerns to light that they may have. So,
Okay. Is Tim Combrick part of your group?
he's not. I have not spoke with him yet.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. All right. Anyone else? Okay, seeing nobody, 3:01, and this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.